think I'll move my flight, stay here another night. I know that I'm saying it wrong, but darling, it feels so right. Hey, señorita, I know I'm no Spanish speaker, but hey, one more margarita, and I'll be saying mamacita. Hey, señorita, I know I'm no Spanish speaker, but hey, one more margarita, and I'll be saying mamacita.
Oh, I'ma call you Papi Papi. The way you make me move, don't wanna stop it, no, no. Take it easy on the talkie. I'm starting to feel ya, it's not just tequila. Don't really care how you speak it, just wanna know what you drink, yeah. Some call it a dilemma. No entiendo, pero no problema, yeah. Oh la la la, why don't we vamos a mi casa? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Body language translator, yeah. Oh la la la, why don't we vamos a mi casa? Yeah. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Yeah, yeah. Body language translator.
Hey, señorita, I know I'm no Spanish speaker, hey, one more margarita, and I'll be saying mamacita. Hey, señorita, I know I'm no Spanish speaker, hey, one more margarita, and I'll be saying mamacita. La 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 la, la 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 la, la la la.
I like the way, yeah. Mamacita.
Really? He puts it in 0 seconds remaining! It seems to be playing hard for it. Oh my goodness! What is this?
Doesn't get the touch. He's looking for Kato. He's got the giant. Oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Now, hold on. Surely this can. Oh my lord.
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, open thing on the goal line. He did not win.
Nearly over.
Sweep. It comes through. The venom. The improbable. The impossible. The 4-time champions. All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to week number 2 as we are here for another exciting week of league play. I'm Rockman back in the booth, joined by the one and only Mealy. Mealy, how you doing tonight?
I am doing pretty well. Typically Mondays are not my favorite days, but now that we are in full swing of season 12, starting to like them a lot more.
Oh yeah, it's always fun when you get a Nemesis league play going on a Monday. You know, it does make the Mondays a little better. That was one of the ideas first starting out here is, you know, how can we make Mondays a little better? You know, hey, how about some league play? So yeah, we're excited to be back. I'll be heading to the Challenger League to start things off. But first, we got to get through the players of the week for week number 1. Merely, we had a lot of great performers out there in week number 1 here. What can you tell us about the Rival League, how the Rival League went, and maybe give us a little bit of maybe give us a review. Tell us who the player of the week was.
Okay, so I'll start out and say that from what I heard about Rival this week, as well as casting one of the Rival matches, it seemed like a lot of the games were very competitive. I know I think noticed like Vortex won a nice little streak there and won a couple of games. I know my Chimeras, I think, split 1-1. And I think there were actually quite a few teams that also went 1-1 as well. So, I mean, overall, Rival League first week pretty competitive, and we'd love to see that, especially from one of the more like higher end leagues like Rival. And speaking of Rival League, we have our week 1 player of the week being Kamikaze. I don't want to say too much to let you say a little bit, but I will say that statistically, this dude had 488 score per game, which in Rival League is no joke. Like that means you're putting up some crazy numbers. He had 1.3 goals per game, and even though he was on the top of the leaderboard 4 goals per game, he wasn't just shooting the ball well, Rockerman. He was passing the ball as well. This man also had 1.43 assists per game.
Yeah, that's crazy. Leading the rival league there in assists per game. Just an insane stat there. And almost he's top three in all of Nemesis for assists per game. So definitely a crazy week number one there for Kamikaze, a well-deserving winner right there. So congratulations to him. And then we'll take a look at the Challenger League here. Moving on to that one, a lot of great contenders in the Challenger League. Some notable mentions include Ryan Gav, Brudder, Kopente, Local, who we'll see tonight, Dalton, Mobamba, Smith, Seven, who we'll also see tonight. A couple players we're going to see on the pitch, but the winner of Player of the Week is going to go to Clouds from Motion. Great week for him. Almost 500 score per game on the board, 1.5 goals per game, 0.8 assists and 1.9 saves per game. So he was all over the pitch there, Mealy, leading his team to 2 victories, 2-0 record in week number one, both in game five. So his performance definitely a big reason why they were able to get some wins there in week one.
Yeah, and I really don't like that you had to mention the game fives there, Rocker Man. One of those was unfortunately to my team on Griffins on that first game on opening day on Monday. Actually, they had us beat down pretty good in the first 2 games. I cannot lie. That team is an incredible team. Thankfully, we were able to get 2 back and almost get the reverse sweep. But yeah, no, Clouds was a huge reason why that was shut down immediately. And yeah, he had an absolute monstrous week. And you know what? To be honest, like with the player that Clouds is and what I know about him, I'm honestly not surprised. Like that dude is always, I feel like, a top 5 player in Nemesis.
Yeah, I mean, former MVP there, and now bringing it up to the Challenger League, performing well out there. And last but not least, Mealy, we have the Prospect League. What can you tell us about the Prospect League and the Player of the Week winner?
So Prospect League again, I know is actually relatively competitive. Speaking of my team, unfortunately, they dropped a couple games, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to that Hypernova squad, I believe. And that definitely has been proven so far, at least through week one, to be quite a scary team. And they're not the only one. I know there's a lot of other scary teams around there, and a lot of crazy players within the entirety of Prospect League. But the one player I should say, not the one, but one player that really stood out to us, and who will be taking home the Player of the Week for Prospect in week one is going to be it's Parker. Is Parker, and I just want to start out Rockman by saying this guy's score per game 521, absolutely
Yeah.
bonkers. Um, Yeah, it looks like Parker was kind of all around the board for the most part. He had an average of 1 assist per game, 1.7 goals per game. Let's see, what else? Can't find anything for saves per game yet. But he was also on
1.29
top. What did you say?
1.29 saves for Parker.
So yeah, so he was being utilized in every asset or facet of the game, and also with a crazy player rating of 1.196 as well. So yeah, all around just an absolute insane player for this week one.
Yeah, no, he was a great player. Some honorable mentions as well up there. You mentioned Hypernova. I see Gallium and Jaegers both up there. Kosh had a great week for the Blackhawks with 2 sweeps also in that division. Frosty Hunzer out there. Uh, ban this one too is on there. Sweeney, Cognition, Lucky. There's a lot of good names up there. The Prospect League, very competitive, very tough decisions all around for players of the week there. But congratulations to all 3 of our winners. We're excited to see Titan and Novice coming back this week. So we're going to get some Player of the Week winners for them this upcoming week. So congratulations once again to all those players. And one more shout out to Dr. Shadow, gifting, continuous gift sub there. Much appreciated. Much love to the management member himself. We love that guy. And we also love this matchup here, Mealy, as we're going to be heading to the Challenger League. We got some spicy drama here, as there was a trade that went down, sending local over to the Raptors, and now Flame versus Raptors. They're going up against each other, and I mean it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, Rocker Man. If anybody knows me, I love a game or a matchup with a juicy story. I know you already mentioned it, but Local traded from Flame over to Raptors for a few first round picks. Crip seemingly believes in Local and what he has to offer, and so do I. But I will say, being or knowing Local for a couple of seasons now, or a couple of years now, I've always associated him with Flame. So it is really weird not calling his name on the Flame team. As we start with this first game here, Rockerman, do you have any predictions?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Prediction-wise, we got a couple of great teams out here in this one, between Flame and Raptors. I'm going to lean towards the Raptors. I think Local, the revenge game, might be a little bit too much to handle, but we are going to have to see here as we've got things underway here. Flame in the red here with the Croptic, Visp, and YZY, and the Raptors with Local, Powerful Pink Pony, and 7 on the board. And really, gotta ask you, as things are officially underway, who are you looking out for here in this game? Number 1 is Visp. He's trying to get up for a double tap, but can't quite put it down.
So one of the players, or major players, I should say that I'm really looking forward to potentially stepping it up. Actually, is going to be Necroptic. I've known Necroptic for quite a while. I've played with him on Flame actually, and I know he's got what it takes to really be a competitor in Challenger League. And now him having to step up or after that trade, rather, I should say, as Local's going to end up scoring the first strike of this series.
And just a long bang there, catching the defense off guard, and he's going to strike back against his former team there. Once again, both these teams looking for their first win of the season, and Local trying to guide this team that way. And that's a great start there, especially when we mentioned it, playing against your former team. You kind of want to show up, Neely, and show them what's up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was actually interrupted by that goal a little bit. I was trying to speak a little bit on Necroptic. I think he's going to have to be a player that steps up during this series, being what seemed to be their potential sub from week 1, now being forced into that starter role. And I think he's got what it takes. We're just going to have to see what he's able to do.
We'll have to see here as game 1 is underway here. Croptic going to send it back. This one locked out across there, trying to find something. Hopped into the corner. Local gonna get up to that one. Sent back in. Pink Pony looking out for Local. He's gonna bang it down. This one just going a long way. He's gonna go off the top there. 7 trying to get back to it. Not quite gonna go. As that one a little bit awkward. And Flame, I'm surprised no one went for that melee there. Maybe trying to get used to each other still. I mean, it is early in the season still.
Yeah, just kind of noticing through the first half of this game so far, Rockerman, that Flame kind of seems like they're on their back foot, or their heel, rather, a little bit, and that Raptors are kind of applying most of the pressure, even though Flame has a little bit of pressure going on here. However, though, I mean, like I said, it's only been half of the game, and only 1 goal has been scored. All it takes is 1, as we all know, and Flame seems like they have the building blocks to be able to do so.
They definitely have the potential there, and they've got some solid players. I don't know too much about Visc and YZY there, but I did hear some hype about them, or about Visc at least. And obviously we've seen Necroptic. To see YZY can step up as well. It's always interesting when you get to a new season, see who can step up here. Right now Flame is looking for someone to step up, as the ball is sent in. 7 bang it down. YZY in the shadow on that one is Alpha Pink Pony. Get up to it, Visc connect. YZY gonna grab that one. 53 in the midfield. Necroptic gonna bang it down. Local jump back, trying to set that one down this corner. Alpha Pink Pony is trying to 50 his own teammates there, and Local's gonna send this one down. It's just off the post there. Not quite gonna find its way through. That one a little bit dangerous, but not quite gonna go through there. As Optic trying to touch. YZY sends it out. Alpha Pink Pony gonna be dunked out by Necroptic, who sends it down. 7 gonna take control, picking up a save in middle. Visc dives in. Powerful Pink Pony once again throwing this one dangerously in front of his net there, and really that's the second time in almost back-to-back possessions that we've seen that one go off there. A little bit of a dangerous ball.
Yeah, almost a few miscues as Visc is going to put in the equalizer with 1 minute to go.
That one could be slammed across. YZY send it towards the net. No one is going to get up, and Visc is just going to put it home there. A great finish on that one. Able to send it in, and Flame going to be able to tie it up.
Yeah, just as I was about to mention miscues and how it seems like Raptors have been having a couple of miscues, Flame goes ahead and puts up a nice play, a great pass, great shot right on target with a nice equalizer with just about less than a minute to go in this very critical game one. And I did want to mention as well, Rocker Man, being on stream during the beginning of the season, I feel like brings on like a whole different form of nerves, right? You don't want to like let anybody down. You want to have a good series and you want to play to the best of your ability. And for some reason, I feel like, with new teammates and especially now with Raptors with the trade too, right? As Vis gonna put in his second goal with just over 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you want to step up and you want to show your opposing teams and players that you got what it takes. In the Necroptic gonna find a little bit of bump. I think it might have just been in anyways. Visk with a great one, and yeah, he's showing up right here, able to send one into the back of the net, and that's 2 goals now for Visk. This one gonna be popped up, and now it's Raptors gonna be trying to make something back here, really.
I was gonna say 2 unanswered goals that could be the dagger for this game one, but there's still plenty of time left, Rockerman. 20 seconds left, and Raptors have been having a lot of pressure, especially early in the game.
Oh wow, that one was an open net there for Visk. He just couldn't turn it down. It will come back to bite him though in the final seconds. This one being sent in. He boxed out. Local's trying to get it up, but Visk is able to send it back in. This one's sending down towards the net. Gonna fall towards the corner and gonna fall into the ground. And Flame gonna come through with a game 1 victory.
Yeah, Flame with the come from behind victory. I bet that feels very good if you're Visk stepping up as potentially that number 1 player or number 2. I don't know what the situation was last week, but definitely proving that he and that Flame team are perfectly capable of doing what they need to do to be able to win. So far, the series as a total, I mean, there's been a lot of going back and forth. Flame got the better of Raptors for this game. Raptors seem to have a little bit more pressure overall as a team, as it kind of shows on the scoreboard as well. But as we all know, just because you have pressure doesn't mean that, goals are guaranteed to happen and you are to score. So, Flame was able to kind of make the most of their opportunities, whereas Raptors, unfortunately, were not able to during that game one.
They really couldn't, and it's very interesting what the Raptors have going here. We talked a lot about the local trade, being that he comes from Flame, playing against his former team, but the Raptors also made another trade to get 7 from Dissolved. So some more picks, a lot of picks really from Krippus funneled into this roster, Mealy. And with that, I think there's a lot of pressure on these guys when you get funneled in. When you get traded for 2 or 3 first round picks, or first round and a second round pick. There's some pressure to perform. That's right on your shoulder.
Absolutely. Pressure indeed. And with that as well, like I was alluding to or saying before, when trades happen, granted it is relatively early in the season, you have to adjust completely as a team and even as an org. You have whole new people coming in. You got to see how each other play and, basically rebuild from kind of the ground up at times. So, we might have to, or we might end up seeing that from Raptors here where they kind of are rebuilding as the series even progresses.
Yeah, and it's the first time these guys are really getting to play with each other here, at least in a league play match. So we're gonna have to see what they can do here. Is this one gonna be dropped down? A little bit of a double commit as the ball falls in front of net 7. Trying to send it up, trying to send it high. It's over the top of Visk. Perfectly placed there. Visk, no boost, no luck. It finds the back of the net.
Yeah, this was just a really great fundamental play here and a great shot by 7. Unfortunately, like I said, Visk unable to get to the ball with 0 boost. And yet again, we see Raptors striking first again. So we'll see how this one ends up playing out.
We'll have to see here as this one pop back. And they finally give themselves another lead here. They found the first goal in game number 1. This one sent back in, all off to the side there. All now in the midfield, Power Pink Pony trying to control that 150. Gonna come through in the midfield. Then the Necroptic gonna send this one back to the back for it. I want to gonna pinch out. He sent the long way down into their zone. Power Pink Pony trying to get up to it, not being able to quite connect. ZY looking to get up for 7. The back in is Visk pushing it down. Gonna take control. Going across his own net dangerously. Gonna try to flick it up high, but the Necroptic is there, able to send it back. His local is gonna bang it down. Visk on the top of 1, looking to find another. Visk looking to carry it all the way down, but it's gonna be saved away by 7. But this one is up. Necroptic is gonna fire it off the back with 7. Get up to it, gonna make a touch, and Visk is very patient. Gonna get it by one. Look at a 50 down below a second there. The ball gonna pop up. He's looking to find Local. Try to pin him to the backboard there. This one dropping down, but not quite gonna go. It's still floating in front of the net, but Local is gonna make a save, and Flame is continuing their offensive pressure as Visk fires it home, and they tie it up.
Yeah, that was just incredible offensive pressure all around from that Flame team. It basically boost starving Raptors, forcing them to go and grab some pads and big boosts. There was absolutely nobody in the net. Visk with a wide open goal to get that equalizer with 3 minutes to go.
Nice play there as he's able to find it. And he's really been the storyline here, Mealy. In this one, it's been a lot of Visk on the side of Flame, stepping up big. And I mean, they needed every bit of Visk here in this one. Another big goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh my god, we almost saw an incredible double by Powerful Pink Pony. But I was going to say, giving a lot of props to Visk as well. But the entire Flame team, they've been working very well together despite losing Local. It seems like they know how each other like to play and that they kind of got it down pat. Not too many mistakes coming out, I'm noticing, from the Flame team. A couple missed touches and a couple of miscues, but definitely not as confusing as I've seen some moments from Raptors per se.
Definitely so. With the teams, it's again looking to find themselves here, first week of the season, and these are the first conference matches for the Challenger League. So a little bit more important than the first non-conference matches. Is 7 is trying to slide that one in. Not quite gonna find it. This one dropping down, ball out of the midfield, Local. It's harassing a little bit. This one's sent down. Pink Pony can't quite find that touch. 7. Send it back in, looking to send it towards the net. They're by 2. Visk got an opportunity. It's 2-on-1. YZY looking for the demo. He's gonna clear the path for Visk. He sends it in.
YZY as the lead blocker. It says, hold on, Visk, I got you. Just put it towards the net. I will do the rest. What an incredible play there by Flame to take the 1-goal lead.
That was a huge play right there, and you're exactly right. The lead blocker just erasing the last defender there, allowing Visk to just send that one in. Great play there as Flame, you take the lead. Despite going down early in both these two games, a lot of resilience from this squad right here. And this one sent back up. Everybody out at net. Necroptic and Visk up to this one, and Visk, he sends it in again. A hat trick for him, and a 3-1 lead for Flame.
Again, I feel like I have to say this because I know we've seen all these goals scored by Visk, and he's got the hat trick this game, but holy, what a team effort. I think it was YCY got that beat way up high that gave Visk the wide open net. These guys are playing so well as a team. It's actually like very, very fun, and I'm very impressed.
Yeah, no, I'm very impressed as well. And like you mentioned, you never really know what to expect early on, but these guys are really finding each other. Good things happen here. They now have a 3-1 lead, looking to take a 2-0 series lead. This one kind of sent back their Local. Force 50 that one away. Ball sent down now. Minute remaining. Raptors trying to fire to the midfield with Visk. He's all over that one to deny it away. Popping up. Visk looking to stay with it, but it's dropping right down. A shot coming through on the net. YZY gonna get a touch away, but a double commit comes through. Flame gonna try to look to bang it up in Necroptic. He's right there. YZY is gonna pick up a savior medal as well, but really final 40 seconds here and ticking. What do you need to see from the Raptors if they're going to try to get anything here in this game too?
Got to see what they have been doing. They're kind of trying to go for an all-out barrage here as they're just trying to get as many touches as possible towards the Flame half, towards their net, hoping something sticks. Going to see a shot there, denied. Visk going to collect this one, but yeah, like we're seeing Local here, got to turn around. You only have 15 seconds left. You need 2 goals. An opportunity here. Not quite going to happen. 10 seconds left. And looks like Visk is going to get a potential another open net for the 4th goal.
Wow, and this guy is just putting on a show here, just taking it by. Looks like a bump from Necroptic there. A great play, and yeah, these guys are really just setting them up. YZY and Necroptic, finding bumps, finding demos, finding passes, and Visk, the main finisher in this one, able to put that one in the back of the net for the 4th one, and the dagger in game number 2. And now the Raptors here, down 2-0 in this series. And again, not only down in the series, pressure that way, but again, we mentioned the pressure of all the picks, all the trades here. Obviously, it's early, a lot of things to work out in the season and even in the series, but really right now, it looks like Flame can almost do no wrong. They're finding some great counterattacks.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I will say though, we know local. He's been around forever. He's been involved in the Nemesis Gaming League for so long now. He ain't going down without a fight. We know this. He's not going to sit down and say, "All right, yeah, it's over. You know, we're going to get swept and we'll move on." No, this is going to something's changing. I can tell. It might be his car too. Who knows? But
I mean, he did leave the lobby and come back, so it very well may be his car here. But hey, whatever it takes, placebo or actual, whatever works to give you some opportunities here. That's what you got to do here, and it's up to the Raptors now to try to make something happen here in Game 3. And really, we talked a little bit about it. I mean, what do you need to see from the Raptors to try to bring back this reverse sweep?
I think they should honestly take some notes from Flame. They need to work on that team cohesion. It seems like they're just a little bit too awkward playing with each other at times. Unsure if someone's going to go or someone else is going to go. I've seen a couple of cuts and rotation at times that just didn't seem intentional. So I feel like if they can get back on that team cohesion, that same line that Flame is on, they can be deadly. I mean, this is a trio of players who I all know are like absolutely insane and have crazy capabilities. 7 local and powerful pink pony. They have what it takes. They just need to put all the pieces together.
They really do, and see if they can do that here as we're in game number 3. Flame trying to stop this series right here, end it in a sweep, but the Raptors trying to counterattack. Power Pink Pony has an opportunity, trying to take it low, trying to find the 50. Falls into pop-up. YZY can't make that touch in the Croptic. Help him out there. Ball in the corner, gonna be pinched down. Sent in. Power Pink Pony. Find a touch out local. It's a race to it. He does. This one sent back in off the corner, off the backboard. Power Pink Pony diving in, but not quite gonna find what he was looking for. 7 takes this one up high. Bisk trying to find a touch, trying to find a flip reset, but they're finding a Croptic instead. Try to send it in. Minute 15 gone by. The Raptors trying to mount an attack here as YZY makes another save here, and a couple opportunities on Raptors side here, Mealy, but they just can't quite find one in the back of the net yet.
Yeah, I was about to say, I like what I'm seeing so far from this game. We've been seeing an improvement, it seems like, so far in this Game 3 from Raptors with being there for each other and, supporting each other, getting some more pressure and more shots on net and not allowing Flame to just score the easy touches. So I feel like with this kind of pressure that we are seeing start to progress for Raptors, we should see, and I hope I'm not caster cursing, but we should see something happen relatively soon.
This one is popped up. Raptors on the attack. The ball dropping down. Bisk make a touch to send it out. No one quite challenging on this one. Bisk looking to take it up high. Look at him trying to send it in for that one. Denied away a close opportunity as YZY off the backboard. Looking for the double tap. The Croptic is there to send it in, and Flame is once again cooking.
Yeah, again, just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is what that Flame roster has been doing all series long. One goes, gets a beat. The second one goes, gets a beat on the second guy. Necroptic there, able to clean that one up. Pretty much an open net. There was a little bit of contest from the last defender, but they had low boost and not in the best position there. So yeah, again, Flame just capitalizing on all their opportunities here.
They really are, and it's just an impressive showing from them. Whenever there's an opportunity, like you mentioned, they just find a way to put it in, and I'd love to see it if you're a Flame fan. This one back in the corner. This one shot towards it, and Croptic gonna make the save. He blocked off to the side. This one popped up. The Croptic sending it down. YZY looking to take this one over the top of 7. Quite make that touch, forcing local to the corner. Control that one. This one drop down. Power Pick Pony sending it back. YZY gonna make another save, picking up a savior medal on the way as local. Trying to send it right back. YZY again patrolling the backboard. Gonna find a touch there. And really, Mealy, I feel like it's been a lot of great defensive efforts here from Flame the last couple of games, making a lot of crucial saves to keep Raptors scoreless here.
Yeah, they just seem very comfortable on their pack line. Like, they're just going to allow Raptors to shoot as much as they want, and they're just going to say, all right, we'll just keep saving it, we'll clear it out, and then we'll work you guys in transition. That's kind of exactly how the first 2 games went, and a little bit of how this game's been going, but it seems Raptors have adjusted a little bit. But yeah, no, this Flame team, again, I don't know how many times I can say it, like, it's beautiful to watch Rocket League, especially in the Challenger League, be played with such a team effort.
Yeah, no, you love to see the team play. It's Challenger League is one of the leagues where you need the team, and local is trying to help his team send that one in the back of the net, able to capitalize, and Flame just caught out a little bit that time.
Yeah, unfortunate miscue coming out of Necroptic. I couldn't tell if he hesitated or thought that maybe he wasn't able to get to that ball. Unfortunately, biting in a little bit, made it so the ball went a little bit behind him and, gave a free net. Almost thought a potential kickoff goal would have been interesting, though, there, Rockerman.
Yeah, it was almost about to find its way back, and that would have been heartbreaking if you're a Raptors fan, but fortunately for their sake, it was not meant to be. But Abisk is trying to make it be, as that one's sent in, but now a minute remaining. Flame back at it again. Local sends that one down. Purple Big Pony trying to find that touch. Let's send back YZY off the backboard. Wait, where teammate Necroptic can't connect. Bisk is forced to keep it in, looking for a double tap. Couldn't find it in the corner. Great mechanics there from Bisk. 7 now. Gonna find something. This one pop up high. Raptors gonna continue on, looking to force game number 4 to send us to Twin Temple. But Flame trying to end it right here, and who else but Abyss putting it home. Flame retakes the lead.
Visk, the legend, a great pass by YZY again with the team plays. I would love to look back at the stats of this series and see how many goals from Flame were actually assisted. Up by 1 goal now with 30 seconds left, but 30 seconds is a lot of time, especially in Challenger. Can Raptors make something of it?
Try to find the one in here. Otherwise, they're going to be going home swept here by Flame. A big demo from Bisk. Open up some space. Necroptic just going to send it in. Just going to send it on. But 7. Oh my goodness. What a race back there. He's able to deny it away. And now final seconds. That save could have been huge. But can they find the attack there? YZY trying to send it in. The Raptors' last hope. YZY stole the boost. The ball is up. Can they send it down the pitch? It's Bisk trying to send it the other way. 7 gonna push it to the corner, but that one is gonna touch the ground, and Flame gonna come through with the brooms here. Merely a big sweep from them. I think a little bit unexpected by everyone here, but they really showed up and showed out with that big win.
Yeah, if anybody had any doubts about this Flame roster post trade, yeah, that just happened. Absolute showing coming out from these guys. YCY, Visk, and Necroptic. All 3 of them, like I said so many times throughout this series. What a team effort. I love to see it. Smooth should be proud of his team. Pulling out a 3-0 sweep, first game on stream. And they look like they didn't have any nerves at all. They look very comfortable throughout the entire thing.
That's huge, and it's funny that it worked out that these 2 teams were playing each other right after that trade. And if I'm Smooth right now, Mealy, it seems like he got away with highway robbery at this point. Getting all the picks and getting the sweep there. I mean that you got to be proud of your team to be able to pick up a big win right after a trade too.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season does play out, or even more so. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't looked at the rosters earlier. But are they full with 4 players, or do they have a spot open? I can't remember.
Yes, both of them are full with 4 players there. So Necroptic was there. Palatial is also on that roster. Didn't
They just
start,
signed
but
him today, didn't
Yep.
they?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it'll be interesting to see how that pickup kind of transfers into that team of 3.
It will be interesting, and for Raptors, I'm not too worried right now. Obviously, it sucks to lose the first game after the trade against the team, one of the teams you participate in that trade with. But you know, you got to expect merely that local 7 and powerful pink pony, they're all going to come back and regroup. I mean, a couple of Nemesis veterans there have been there for a while. You got to expect that as the season goes on, they're going to find some chemistry and find a way to regroup.
Yeah, I completely agree. I honestly can see this Raptors team making it into the postseason just based off of the players that they have. Like I said, it might take a week or 2 to kind of figure things back out. Get more chemistry with each other. Unfortunately, this stream match was potentially "quote unquote" rushed, if you will, for the roster move that had occurred. But yeah, I definitely would not be counting them out at all.
Yeah, no, I would definitely keep our eyes on them, and obviously we're gonna have to keep our eyes on Flame after that win. Maybe a little bit surprising, but they looked very good out there on the pitch, and able to walk away with the sweep, got the brooms out, took care of business. So congratulations to them on the big victory here. And yeah, I think with that being said, we are going to be heading to a little bit of a break. But when we come back, we're going to be moving on to the next matchup, 8:45 in the Prospect League, where we have Banshees taking on Flurry. Really another game where some teams are looking to find their first win, and the Prospect League, it has been a little bit spicy this season as well.
Yeah, hey, I always say if there's any time to win a game, especially if it's going to be your first win of the season, I mean, and it has to be in this game, like you said, might as well make it on stream, baby. Make it a series. I'm super excited. I wish I could watch this one, but I have my match as well. But I know that this second match is going to be an absolute banger. I know both of those teams are pretty good from the last that I knew. Both of those teams' GMs are really good as well, and absolute legends and Nemesis legends of GM. So I'm sure that they put together absolute monsters of teams.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting. We got Banshees taking on Flurry here. Another battle of conference opponents here coming up next. So make sure you guys stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes with that one. You don't want to miss it.
We used to think our words were gold, that our blinded hearts could withstand cold. We were catching diamonds in the rain, letting precious water through the drain. The stars were dancing in their light, past that we could never write. Oh, they were dancing way up high. We built these walls so we could find who could prove themselves through the waves of time. We're trying to repent before you sin. It's like giving up before you begin. Stars were dancing in their light, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in their light, the future we will never run. Dirt on our feet was bone dry, it was bone dry. Thought another goal is all we needed, taking second chances till we bleed. And when all the love had been depleted, we had but no choice to concede. As the stars were dancing in their light, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. fake video. If I came with commas, with the drama, just go. No one really likes you until you got dollars to blow. If I could pull a Freaky Friday and live the fast life like Lindsay, tell me now, what would you say? What would you say? We're the ones with the money, laugh at the pity party. What would you think about me? Would you like me or just try to be the ones with the money? Now that everyone loves me, what would you think about me? Would you like me or just try to be the... Does anybody like you if you've never been VIP? Does anybody like you if you drive a four-door on a lease? If I could make it rain, would the pain up and leave? Does anybody like you feel if you don't pull the strings? If I could pull a Freaky Friday and live the fast life like Lindsay, tell me now, what would you say? What would you say? We're the ones with the money, laugh at the pity party. What would you think about me? Would you like me or just try to be the ones with the money? Now that everyone loves me, what would you think about me? Would you like me or just try to be the... And could I even like me if I can't even be myself? Should I even like me if I can't even be myself? If I could pull a Freaky Friday and live the fast life like Lindsay, tell me now, what would you say? What would you say? We're the ones with the money, hype it up like it's funny. What would you think about me? Would you like me or just try to be the ones with the money? Now that everyone loves me, what would you think about me? Would you like me or just try to be the... always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will, though, give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will, though, give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. We can start it again. We can start it.
He puts it in 0 seconds remaining. He seems to be fighting hard for it. Oh my goodness! What is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna give a shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. Backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on.
high off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Hold on. Surely this can. Oh my
Let's go
lord!
with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Palpatine on the goal line. He did not win.
Nearly over!
Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Welcome back, everyone, to week 2 of season 12 here in the Nemesis Gaming League. My name is Jonas alongside Ventus. We are getting set for our next matchup. We head to the Prospect League. We got Banshees, we got Flurries, both teams searching for their first W on the season.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a great series to be had tonight. I mean, Flurry is such an exceptional team. I mean, Sea-Wink especially, bringing Ember a championship last season, or being a big reason behind why Ember won, last season. And he moves teams to this new Flurry squad. He's going to be that veteran presence that they need. It's going to be really close. And then Banshees, I want to talk about Draco, ex-Draco. And he was actually on Wyverns last season, I believe, and he took them to the semis. Unfortunately, they lost in the semis, but he was a big reason why they're able to get there. It's kind of like a tale of two titans, Sea-Wink from Flurry and Draco from Banshees. It's going to be a really, really great series, and I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, but again, I mean, the biggest thing, both these teams hunting for that first victory here in season 12. And someone's going to get it. That's going to be the good thing, Ventus. Regardless of who comes out on top, we're going to see a team get their first W. And that's always great.
Yeah, definitely. You never want to keep going down the rabbit hole of these losses. Any turnaround is definitely one that's helpful, and definitely one needed for these teams just to get back in the groove and kind of bounce back from the unfortunates of week 1. But week 1 is not the end all be all. There's plenty of regular season left to play, so I'm sure these teams are gonna bounce back, even if they do not win today and continue to go defeated. They will eventually bounce back and claim some of their former glory.
Yeah, Banshees, they had themselves 2 tough matches back in week 1. They took on the Warhawks, lost in game 5 to the Warhawks, and then they also played the Gladiators and got swept by a very, very solid-looking Gladiators team. Gladiators also 3-1 Flurry back in week 1, so both these teams suffering losses to the Gladiators in week number 1, and now they're still looking for that first W, but here in week 2, we will see it again. This is match 2 of 3 on the day, and we got players joining onto the field, getting set for game number 1, Banshees Flurry. And again, we're gonna be looking for a lot of those big names.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely gonna be. It looks like I do not see Sea-Wink in the lobby for Flurry. That's going to be a very interesting thing, unless I just don't know and the names are different. That might be the case. I'm not really sure but it looks like Reckless, Skinny Legend, and UXPN, I believe, is Socks. And those 3 actually going to open up the scoring here for Flurry. It looks like they don't need Sea-Wink just yet, but yeah, that's definitely going to be a big problem for this Flurry roster if Sea-Wink is not playing.
Yeah, we will have to see. I mean, that was a just big overextension on the side of the Banshees, kind of all pushed up, and Reckless got it out to Socks for goal number 1 to open up this series. But I'm expecting this one to be very competitive, as Reckless a little bit awkward. The pinch is made by Skinny Legend and Socks to find the clear, but I think it's going to be both these teams kind of trying to find their balance here in week number 2. And again, it's always great to be on the winning side of things, but sometimes it can feel a little unfamiliar, and you got to be able to deal with that pressure, get ahead in series, and close them out.
Yeah, and going through hardships really early in the season creates better teams. Anytime teams can struggle together and then work to overcome those struggles and improve as a team, those are where the real dangerous squads come into play, especially come playoff times. So getting these early frustrations out and early mistakes can lead to something great, as a slight open net miss there by the side of Flurry. Reckless just not really expecting Skinny Legend to get the bump on the last man, and maybe some hardships coming through early for this Flurry squad in game number 1.
Yeah, we have seen a couple decent looks on either side, but Flurry looking to stay consistent on the offensive end. That is where they have lived. Draco trying to get something going with the Banshees. Clear will be made. This one lobbed up high. Drewski looking to clear it away to the corner. That he will. Skinny Legend right back middle of the clear made by Draco. And you can see a solid midfield battle, but most of the pressure living in the Banshees half.
Yeah, I mean, Flurry's been doing a really good opportunity, or really good at just cutting down those Banshee opportunities and keeping them in the midfield and putting them back into counterattacks. But it looks like a slight misplay by Reckless here. Not going to be able to get back. Draco going to put that one out and tie the game up. A great 50 on Skinny Legend. And, you know, Reckless just really not expecting that. And then just the slight misplay on his recovery to get back. And then I think Draco might have beaten him anyways for that play. But, I mean, good speed there by Draco just to, you know, even the scoring up.
Yeah, able to bend it through the far post as well to tie us up, but not for much longer as Flurry will get it right back. Skinny Legend got a little help from Drewski.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate on the side of Banshees there. Just you know, we'll say a forced own goal. You know, Drewski was rushing back just to try to get a touch, and unfortunately, he was trying to help. Obviously, you know, being that cutting back on rotation to help the last man back, but you know, you just got to trust your last man in that position and just hope that he's able to get that goal. The last thing you want to do is ruin that morale by the own goal and the misplay there. So hopefully, you know, Banshees don't take it too much to heart as a backflip comes out by Draco, and it's going to leave another open net on the side of Flurries. Just unfortunate thing after unfortunate thing on the side of Banshees. Just starting off really strong with the 1-0 lead or 1-1 tying game, and then giving up 2 goals like that is just so tough.
Yeah, I mean, Skinny Legend did a good job getting the musty on target. Yeah, the backflip from Draco is it's always tough to see, but it always seems to happen. And Flurry, they're more than happy to move out to a 2-goal lead as we cross the halfway point here in game 1, trying to keep that pressure up offensively, maybe force more of those defensive mistakes from the Banshees. Ryer has this one up, won't be able to find himself a touch. Sox looking for the clear, gets a high pop over Drewski, turning, looking for Draco middle. It'll fall back to Sox. Draco has done well trying to get the offense kick-started for Banshees, but not enough consistently as this one will just fly off the mark on the big 50. Skinny Legend going middle, has Reckless. There, he finds it middle. It's 4-1 Flurry.
Yeah, and that's a great pass right there by Skinny Legend. Just a nice pop off the wall, and then Reckless already up, ready for that pass out, and a great play. Really not one that Banshees can really deal with, because even though they had a player on the back wall, they just weren't expecting that good of a pass out by Skinny Legend. So a great goal by Flurry to give them an even bigger buffer than they had originally.
Yeah, we need to see the defense sharpen up a little more for the Banshees as they are giving Flurry a lot of room to work through the midfield, and you can see that's what's creating a lot of those opportunities. Reckless trying to get another one going middle. Drewski have himself a little bit of space trying to work around Sox. Gets the pop. Reckless will turn it away. Sox trying to give it back to him. Passes across. Drewski cuts it off. Sox will carry it back towards the corner. Drewski has a dribble trying to get the back pass, but Skinny Legend intercepts. 70 seconds left on the clock, and Flurry, they don't feel like they're going to break here in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it looks like they've been playing with no fear. I've seen plenty of times where they're just diving at the ball and diving for these challenges. Skinny Legend especially, I mean, he's been really quick to this ball, which has allowed him to just, you know, challenge whatever he wants, really, without much contest from the side of Banshees. But it looks like maybe an overcommit here. If Ryer can get this on, it's a goal, but unfortunately he can't. Maybe Drewski can with the follow. Looks like a double commit comes out, but no. Looks like Flurry is going to hold on for the rest of this game, probably. I mean, I don't see, with how well Flurry has been, that Banshees are really going to be able to come back and get not only 1, but 3 more goals in the next 20 seconds. But, I mean, Flurry has been outpacing, and, I mean, they've been really willing to just keep pressure and almost dive at the ball, and they have not been really, what's the word? You know, giving Banshees their credit and you know, respecting that they could do everything with the ball that they can. You know, we can see air dribbles out of them. We've seen flip resets out of them. So, I mean, just Flurry being able to pre-jump and, you know, not giving them any respect has just kind of worked for them really well for this game number 1. And I mean, if you're Banshees, you're kind of annoyed a little bit with how they're playing, but you just gotta play around it and hope for the best.
Yeah, they really just stepped into the driver's seat and just kind of sat there the entire game long. Were able to get one away and then kept the foot on the gas pedal. And it's interesting because they had a ton of pressure going through that game, but they only had 5 shots. They went 4 for 5 as a team. They stayed incredibly efficient. They also picked up 5 saves as a team. So it wasn't like they were necessarily just peppering shots on target. They just did a great job through the midfield, keeping up that pace, making the Banshees uncomfortable. And now they go into game 2, and you said it great, Ventus. They're confident. They're going to be even more confident now here in the second game.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I can already just tell there's going to be a couple crazy pre-jumps coming out on the side of Flurry just because, I mean, you already have game 1 under your belt. You're already up in the series, And this might be a goal right there. It almost drops in from another crazy challenge by Skinny Legend. Just, it looks like Banshee's, gonna get this air dribble catch pop into the midfield, and then Flurry is already up for this ball. They're playing so quick, and a bump comes out from Reckless. Maybe a little too quick as a double commit whiff, but Reiner not able to get it back in time, get it around for the goal. Oh my god, that's such a tough break for the Banshees, but it looks like they're not done yet. It looks like Ryder trying to get another one, but gonna get 50'd away by Sox. Yeah, and I mean, this Flurry squad, even though they've been willing to commit maybe a little bit too fast for their own good opening, or like starting out in this game number 2.
Yeah, they have maybe missed a couple of those touches, but you can still feel the confidence emanating from this team, trying to find those maybe cooler touches, maybe touches that'll keep the broadcast in awe a little more. But ultimately, you got to get a lead first. I think if you want to try and make those cool goals happen, I think the first thing you do, get a lead, play while you're ahead, and then maybe go for a highlight or two.
Yeah, I mean, definitely want to get the lead first, but it looks like Banshees has kind of stunted this Flurry offensive pressure, and I mean, now it kind of looks like the reverse of game 1. We see Banshees with a lot of pressure on the Flurry side of the field, and it's causing these Flurry mistakes. I mean, a couple of double commits and some uncharacteristic whiffs are coming out from them. But it looks like, I mean, even though Banshees has looked a lot better with offensive pressure, they just haven't had these goal-scoring opportunities and haven't been super efficient with them. We see constant passes across the net from Banshees, but just no one's there ready to accept the pass, and they're just more worried about not letting Flurry break out instead of trying to score. So that might be something we got to look forward to. Banshees looking a bit better in this game number 2, but I mean, they haven't shown anything for their efforts yet.
Yeah, I mean, I will agree. They're moving laterally very well. That's a good shot from Skinny Legend, saved by Draco. You can see them in the offensive side, moving side to side, but ultimately you gotta go forward towards the net if you want to put one away. Is this one off the upper 90 and away, as that one narrowly kept out by Draco? Good bump in front. Draco, not a ton of power. It'll fall back to Reckless. Immediately challenged again by Draco, and the midfield pressure has really stepped up for the Banshees. Now need to try and find something on the offensive side. Skinny Legend misses, Reckless misses, but so does Ryer, the shooter, so does Draco here on the far side. Awkwardness in the Flurry half. The clear is made, but sent right back to the offensive end by Ryer.
Yeah, I mean, I love this Banshee's aggression coming out in game number 2. It's very drastically different from what we've seen in game number 1, and it's causing Flurry to be super awkward. We've seen some of the mistakes that have come out. A double commit just there, proving my point. But it looks like Banshee's just not able to fully, create those great opportunities. They haven't been able to finish them, is really what it comes down to. And even though they've held sustained pressure in the Flurry half, I mean, nothing's come about it. Nothing's come to fruition just yet. And Flurry, honestly, happy just playing with the defensive half, and then coming out with the counterattacks. I talk about Banshee having great pressure, but I mean, Flurry has more shots than them currently, and so even though Banshees have looked better, it still hasn't come to anything yet, as a shot from Sox going to be saved away by Draco.
Yeah, he picks up his third save of the game with that one. You can start to see Flurry putting more and more shots on target. Dangerous bounce, though, will allow for a clear for the Banshees. Reckless back to the corner. Ryer trying to go middle. Drewski pops it up back to the corner. It will fall back to Flurry. A dangerous touch, and Drewski puts it on net. 48 seconds, and Banshees take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's another one of those things where we talked about Flurry, you know, having that confidence. It looks like Banshee now having that confidence in those challenges, and just a great touch there by Drewski just to get it past the defender, who is, you know, kind of sitting in front of the ball, not really expecting somebody to challenge there. Is, you know, he's like, man, I have possession, I got the ball almost on my car. But Drewski found the little gap in the space where I think it was Reckless had the ball, and so able to take that right off of his car and put it in the back of the net. A great goal and a necessary one for Banshees.
We'll see if Flurry are going to be able to snap back in time. 20 seconds. Reckless blocked early by Draco. We've seen some great challenges out of him here in game 2, and that being another one. Another big demo out in front. Drewski just trying to stall. Draco gets another beat. It's over 2. Sox last back for Flurry. Needs to go the full length of the field. This one awkward for Reckless. Needs to keep it alive. Drewski looking to kill it. Kept up for a moment longer. Draco to Drewski. They want one for the road. It drops out in front. But Banshees take it. A narrow 1-0 game. But that'll tie up the series.
Yeah, and you talked about Draco having really great challenges, and you can see that right there on the leaderboard. 4 saves, really holding down the fort for this Banshee squad. Even when Flurry had those shot opportunities, he was always there back on defense, just able to get that out of the half, able to clear it away, and able to contest in the midfield. So great play by him, and that's something we really need to see continue to happen. As, you know, it looked like a little bit in game 1, he wasn't fully at, you know, his peak performance, you know, but game 2 really shining out, and, you know, definitely a tough nut to crack if you're Flurry. Definitely going to be one to watch out for.
Yeah, trying to find a way around him consistently is going to be difficult. But I also think the big thing is the defense from Banshees as well. More so the pressure they were able to generate around the midfield. You know, Flurry scored 4 goals back in game number 1 and then got shut out there in game number 2. That is a huge change. And now going into game number 3, if they can keep up that pace, it's gonna be really difficult for Flurry to kind of step back into it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Being shut out of any game is really tough, especially for the mental side of things. I mean, you just talk about, man, we just scored 4 goals in game 1. Like, what in the world happened that we couldn't even really scratch the net this game? It's definitely going to be a tough one. Is Drewski with another diving challenge on the defender, just not expecting. Skinny Legend, like, catches the ball here. Drewski just realizes it's not a great touch and instantly dives, and Skinny just not expecting that one, and Drewski's actually going to put up the Banshees another 1-0 lead, and it's exactly like his goal in game number 2. And, you know, now that's the second time that's happened where they pretty much had the ball in front of their net, kind of not expected a challenge to come, and Drewski just appears there out of nowhere and able to put a freebie in the net because they're not ready. But as I say that, Skinny Legend, another great pass out to Reckless, and that one's going to put the score back to even. I mean, great plays back and forth, but Flurry seemed a little bit more earned, you know. Banshees is a little more of a first man kind of dive at it and see what happens, whereas that was a nice passing play. So, I mean, whatever works, but, I mean, I have more faith in the Flurry squad with their passing ability than Banshees diving at the ball.
Yeah, I think the goals that Flurry have conceded have been a little more preventable. If they were just a little more cautious with keeping that ball close, they could have been easily prevented. Of course, Drewski, he took advantage of that weakness as soon as he got it, but definitely Flurry can, I think, hold it down better on the defensive end. And we also saw, again, that the passing out of their offense is huge, especially because Banshees, it really hasn't felt like they've been able to connect on the offensive side, looking for a lot of their passing plays. Maybe something here as Drewski takes the lead blocking position, but there was just too many players stacked in net. Reckless coast to coast off target. Follow up from Sox. No, he doesn't take it. It'll fall to Skinny Legend. Pops over 2, but he's bumped away.
Yeah, I mean, a great opportunity there by Flurry. It looks like a mistake there comes out by Reckless, and he kind of gives up, but a great save by Sox. Flurry barely hang on, and you can just tell Reckless thought that goal was going to be an immediately off that mistouch, because there's another person immediately shooting. Wait, the net's just open for a Sox long ball there. I guess just testing out the offense. It looks like Drewski was on the wall, and Rayer pushed up there, and it's gonna leave an open net for Fleury, and such a weird turn of events. Fleury seemingly on their own defensive line, immediately coming out and scoring. Just, it seems like a slight misrotation from Banshees.
Yeah, it was an incredible initial save from Sox to keep that one out and, you know, keep it to a tied game, and then the immediate turnaround is huge. Now Drewski's got another open look. He will take it. Starting to see the passing come out a little more as Rayer got it forward, and then you can see the team bump from Skinny and Reckless. That is really what allowed that play to unravel, but Banshees, they're more than happy to tie it back up.
Yeah, I mean, they looked a little bit panicky there on the defensive back wall, and you know, those mistakes are going to be pretty easy to capitalize on when there's nobody in net to really save that ball. It looks, oh, I thought it was another team bump, but Drewski's car is just red. but another miss comes out by Skinny Legend, a great save by Reckless, and I mean, Fleury looking very panicked, but so do Banshees, as another ball gonna roll into the Banshees net off of just a tap in by Reckless. It looks like Rayer not really expecting that kind of 50 to come out, and Reckless is gonna put it right by him to score another pretty much open net. Just very, very panicky from both teams, especially coming down to the wire. I mean, there's still half a game left already in this. Was game number three, sorry. But I mean, it's just crazy to see how many whiffs and how many mistouches there are coming out, as another ball seemingly just rolling into the net of Banshees off of another misrotation, and I don't even know what to think right now, Jonas.
I mean, that is 3 in a row that Banshees have conceded where Rayer has just been too far upfield. That is 3 in a row. The last 3 goals Fleury have scored, Rayer has been too far up, and he's caught trying to rush back as he has to watch the ball roll into the net. But I do agree. Both these teams need to take a breath, a deep breath at some point to calm themselves. And we see a huge overextension from Fleury, a big double, maybe even a triple, as it will eventually be taken away by Skinny Legend, who broke free. Another double commit for Fleury, but with less than 2 minutes to go, they do have to hold it now. A double miss and a double whiff for Banshees, as both these teams seeming to come apart a little bit here in Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, they just, it seems like both teams just need the reset after this game. They need to take, like, I wouldn't say take the full minute, you know, between games, but definitely talk about it. You know, we gotta cut down on those double commits. We gotta cut down on those, you know, mistakes. You know, stay more grounded. You know, you can go for these crazy pre-jumps and these dive commits, but I mean, when you're trying to play too fast for your own good, it is a very double-edged sword, because, you know, playing very fast does open up some opportunities, but playing too fast opens a lot of opportunities for the other team as well. So definitely need to look. Another play where Rayer just overcommits on defense. It looks like his teammates hadn't rotated back yet. You see him pushing up in the midfield, not really expecting another player to come out on the side of Fleury, and it leaves the net wide open again. That is wild. I mean, you'd think that Banshees would learn from the past 4 goals in a row, but I mean, sadly, it does not seem that way.
Yeah, it does not, and that goal also gives Reckless a hat trick on just 3 shots. He is 3 for 3 here in this game, and again, a lot of them have just kind of been open nets, really, and might have another here. No, the shot will go off target, and after, you know, Banshees did so well holding back the Fleury offense in game number 2, now here they are in the next game putting up 5, and that is huge, obviously, in this one with 30 seconds left. That it does just look like time will tick down. Fleury looking to pick up one more. Drewski booms it away. Rayer is there, but this touch will be immediately taken away by Skinny Legend. Another good challenge from Draco, but not enough time on the clock for Banshees. Fleury, they're going to be on match point, and I'm just hoping we see some players take a moment to ready up between this game and the next one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hope, especially on the side of Banshees.
Oh no.
Just because, it looks like Flurry not done yet. Want to add one more to the stat total. Maybe a little bit of a stat pad there is just an unfortunate touch by Drewski. I mean, they're gonna add a couple more points to their overall total. Maybe help out with some of those Nemesis fantasy players who drafted them one of their teams. Who knows? Maybe Sox has himself in Nemesis fantasy and he wanted to get another goal for the road. But really, I would hope that Banshees take this time. They need to say, look, we need to stop overcommitting, especially on offense. We have been having good pressure. I mean, they're pretty even. They are even shot totals. They had 9 shots to Fleury's 9. But man, it just seems like Fleury could just throw the ball at their half and it would just go in because there's nobody back for Banshees. They need to sit their third man back a little bit further. And I'm not saying that they can't contest the midfield, but you got to be a little bit smarter when you do it. It looks like maybe a substitution, maybe something coming out. It looks like Draco left. I don't know. Maybe we'll see a substitution here. Maybe Banshees want to switch it up a little bit. But I mean, yeah, I just don't know what to think. I mean, it wasn't necessarily that Fleury was really beating Banshees. It was more so that Banshees was beating themselves. I mean, we talked 4 of those goals were pretty much just open nets for Fleury. So if you take away those open net mistakes, I mean, it's 2-2. It is a much closer game than we actually think. But you obviously can't, factor out it. 4 goals. 4 goals is a lot to deal with. So I mean, good for Fleury to just take advantage of those opportunities, but I mean, definitely Banshee's got to work on something.
Yeah, seeing the same shot total with a 4-goal differential is crazy, but it does look like we are seeing a substitution. Draco will be out here in game number 4, and instead you have LeBerry on Banshees playing alongside Drewski and Rayer. We'll see if that will end up helping things out. I mean, their backs are against the wall now. They've got to win 2 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, one can only hope. I mean, it's going to be interesting because, Banshees just played with the same team comp for the last 3 games, and now they're throwing in LeBerry, who is a good player in his own right. But I'm wondering if the team composition, the way they're situated is going to be really difficult to adapt to, or if they're going to kind of smoothly adjust to it. Maybe LeBerry is a much more defensive type, as he doesn't seem very defensive there. It's a nice shot on net, but just off target. But, I mean, they really got to focus on not overcommitting in this game, and I think that's really going to be the biggest game changer for this Banshee squad.
Yeah, I would agree. As long as they're able to sit tight a little more, they're going to be able to do well, but LeBerry immediately making his impact known. 55 seconds in will break the ice here in Game 4.
Yeah, and I mean, a great shot by LeBerry, but a great pass by Drewski. I mean, we haven't really seen much passing plays coming out from the side of Banshees. Most of their goals have been solo plays or these like dive attempts. It looks like maybe another goal's going to come out here for Drewski, catching the defense lacking with a great long ball. Just a little bit of a boom. Skinny Legend, was thinking that he wasn't going to touch it that hard. Maybe could try to control a little bit more, but Drewski kind of caught them out and able to put another one away. And Banshee's actually going up 2-0 early in game number 4. A very different feeling than what the game 1 and 3 looked like, but even different than game number 2 when they took the lead or took the win. And it looks like LeBerry is going to actually find another goal. And now it seems like Banshees are just catching the last man of Fleury out of rotation seemingly every single time. 2 of these goals just kind of finding an empty net. And I mean, it seems like the reverse of game number 3.
Yeah, this is a completely new looking Banshees team, and obviously they do have a new third, but it feels like the confidence, the mentality, the whole dynamic has shifted for this team with LeBerry on the field. And it's tough to see after losing a game like that to be able to bounce back, but they have. However, they will concede their first as Reckless somehow just able to find his way through it. No way, it was an own goal from Rayer.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate.
I didn't even see it.
I mean, Reckless with a great bump attempt, but I mean, Rayer just a little bit, maybe a little panicky, but I mean, you got to make a touch
Oh,
there. Oh my gosh, another own goal almost coming up by Skinny Legend. And I don't even know, both teams now seemingly trying to score on their own net for the time being. But but it looks like all things are going back to normal. Looks like Flurry going to take it down into the blue half. But, I mean, yeah, completely different look. Rare, an unfortunate play, but, still up by 2. The Banshees look very much more comfortable with LeBerry in this lineup. And I'm a caster curse.
I mean, that is a beautiful offensive look from Flurry. Skinny Legend, a great take, puts it across. Sox just narrowly outspeeding LeBerry 80 miles an hour towards the top left corner. And that is a great way to bring yourselves back within 1.
Yeah, and just as I was praising, Banshees for their style of play, and LeBerry for how well he's kind of played so far in this opener of his sub in pretty much. I mean, he's already scored 2 goals for Banshees and been very good on defense. I mean, as soon as I say that, Flurry just had to score, so making me eat my words a little bit, but I do still believe in the Banshees. They have looked a lot better. And as long as they can just tighten up on defense, it seems like they should be fine. But as I say that, there's some offensive pressure, forming for Flurry.
Yeah, and I think the other interesting thing to notice, I mean, obviously we've gone by 3 games now. We've seen in game 1, the Banshees scored 1. Game 2, they also scored 1. In game 3, they scored 2. This is the most they've scored in a game so far in this series, and there's still 2 minutes left.
That is crazy to think, and I mean we can attribute that somewhat to Flurry's defenses. It looks like maybe another open net's gonna come out. Looks like Sox luckily gonna be back in time. Rare with a potential shot on net. A backflip comes out by Reckless, and Banshees are gonna score another one. And it seems like the reverse of game number 3 still. I mean, I know Banshees, there was a goal that Flurry scored on Banshees where Draco had an unfortunate backflip, and it looks like Flurry, just wanting to repay the favor, is gonna backflip and leave the goal open to another Banshees shot. So, I mean, it completely reminiscent of game number 3, except the opposite. The Banshees are getting all these open nets, and Flurry is the one that is leaving all these opportunities on the table. So, a crazy difference in between just one game, and maybe that's to do with the sub LeBerry, and maybe Flurry just wants to try to play more aggressive. I mean, who knows? But we still have a minute 20 left in this game, and it's anyone's game.
Yeah, no, this could very easily still get out of hand for the Banshees. Has a lot of pressure now towards the green net. Sox fires. This one's saved by LeBerry. Backflip off the far post. Still staying out. Maybe a turnaround here. Rare gives it back to LeBerry off spawn. And now maybe something for Skinny Legend. No, LeBerry takes it away again. And we are just seeing the Banshees doing everything they can to seemingly just hold themselves and get themselves to game 5.
Yeah, I mean, they have just been dealing with an onslaught from this Flurry offensive, but one might think we've seen a bunch of offensive pressure lead to goals for the other team, so maybe Banshees just holds down, bunkers in, and just holds on, and they might just find another open net opportunity from Flurry, just seemingly committing everybody to this ball, but it does not seem like they will miss this opportunity, as Sock's gonna put this one away, and maybe everybody diving for the offensive pressure isn't a great thing unless you score.
Yeah, it was a great job from Reckless getting that middle. Skinny Legend just kind of flew right over top, but that's why you have 3, and Sox was there to put that one away. Now maybe a little bit awkward here for Drewski. LeBerry will be able to deal cleanly with this save, and no doubt the Banshees, all they're going to try and do is hold out for one more goal. Skinny Legend on target. LeBerry, another save off the post. Reckless fires. The save is made by Drewski. Just looking to kill it here. Wants to set it down. That he will. And LeBerry, an MVP performance coming in off the bench and elevating Banshees to the 5th and final game.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? LeBerry had some crazy defensive plays there. I mean, he literally kept 2 almost sure goals out of Banshee's net. Those 2 goals would have given Fleury the win. So crazy stuff to see. A great substitution, it seems, so far with LeBerry. And I mean, who's going to say anything different? I mean, 2 goals, an assist, and 5 saves coming out for LeBerry in this game. So crazy stat line. Definitely an MVP kind of performance out of him. And, hopefully Banshees can ride this momentum into game number 5. As I mean, at least I hope. I really hope for another good game just like this one. I mean, back and forth and crazy saves coming out. I mean, one can only hope. Maybe we lose the own goals, but it should still be
Yeah.
a good game nonetheless.
I mean, Sox had himself a good performance as well. Went 2 for 5 with 3 saves for Fleury, but unfortunately, LeBerry just was that step above. And now, again, it looked like a completely different Banshees team. Obviously, putting in LeBerry has seemed to change the whole chemistry, the whole outlook that this team has been able to develop. So now, Champions Field, game number 5. One game to decide who will get their first W here in Nemesis Season 12. We're underway, and Drewski wastes no time.
Yeah, opening up with a bang for game number 5. I mean, a great read off the side ball, just able to beat that last defender. Reckless still getting a touch on this ball, but just a little bit too late as, the shot from Drewski very fast and a great skim there. So, I mean, a great play for Banshees to open up the scoring and a much needed one, especially to set the tone of this game number 5.
Yeah, just going to be looking to get that pressure early. It's a little bit of a double commit there. Sox trying to turn it around. A double commit here. Reckless fires high. Is there follow-up? No. Skinny Legend is all the way back. Booms this one way wide into the corner. It'll fall to Sox going middle. Reckless is there. Drewski hangs on for the defense. Skinny Legend followed this one off target. Reckless demo far side. The clear once again made, and Banshee somehow escaping there without conceding.
Yeah, honestly, a great defensive play, but I mean, Fleury missed a couple of shots there. I mean, Skinny Legend just slightly off target on his shot, and then the other one where he was coming in as that third man. I think he was looking for a pass, but both of his teammates electing to rotate out early, and it just left Fleury with an uneven scoring opportunity. As another scoring opportunity comes here, a pass off the post, and then so close of a play from Fleury. Just not coming out to fruition just yet, but I mean, if they keep things up like this, I'm sure they're bound to score at some point.
Yeah, they have had a lot of great looks early, but have not been able to find that one towards the back net. LeBerry, big demo there. Skinny Legend will retreat. Rayer looking to gain control here. Big challenge coming through. LeBerry clear out momentarily. Sox has the catch, avoids one, trying to slip it past another. Rayer finds the stop. Both Skinny Legend and Reckless a little far back now. Will have to stop in the midfield, make a turn, dodges the bump, gets challenged well by Drewski over to the sidewall. Sox trying to break through, wins it into the corner. Drewski's awkward shot, look for Skinny Legend, he misses it. Sox trying, he misses as well. Now Reckless is 50, will head into the corner again. Fleury having chances but not able to take advantage.
And as we say that, almost another opportunity comes up, saved away by Drewski. Another great play for the defensive of Banshees, just being able to put a hand up pretty much and just kind of like block part of Fleury's shots just to try to force them into making the perfect shot. And I mean, great plays out of Fleury, and some unfortunate whiffs coming out, just not able to capitalize on their offensive pressure. It looks like LeBerry gonna get another pass out to Drewski, gonna go back into the blue half, but Rayer gonna put this one away. Drewski trying to look for a shot. I mean, Banshee have looked a lot better. I mean, they've looked pretty close to what they were last game, but Fleury also looking better. I mean, we see that they've kind of left their third man back a little bit, and it has made it so they don't have as many opportunities on offense, but they've also not really had much to deal with on defense. And as I say that, Rayer gonna put that one home and give the Banshees a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation there from Sox. Did not want to jump while that ball was hanging up in the air and allowed Drewski to win another touch into the backboard. Rayer there, that being his second goal of the series. His first one was last game. He was able to put one away, and now picking up another here in Game 5 to get a bit of a cushion for the Banshees and Flurry. Their offense has gone cold here when you need it to be the most hot here in game number 5. Reckless trying to get going downfield. LeBerry clean challenge back in to the Flurry half. Sox trying to get it over to Skinny Legend. That he will. Moves it back upfield. Drewski forced a retreat. Good jump here. Forces the rest of the boost out for Skinny Legend. The clear made all the way across. Minute and a half left to go. The Banshees just looking to hold on. Skinny Legend gets the air dribble. Has Sox middle. The shot is good. No one covering the far side. Flurry cut the lead in half.
And that's what you really want to see out of Flurry. I mean, a good passing play and a little bit of an early dive commit there by Drewski. Hoping that Skinny Legend was going to just take it by himself. But Skinny, seeing the challenge coming in, he dumps it off to Sox, and Sox is able to put that one in the back of the net. And finally, Flurry score on one of these opportunities where they have offensive pressure. I'd love to see this continue to happen. Hopefully Flurry is able to find some more opportunities here as the clock dwindles down just at 1 minute.
Yeah, they got to keep that offense really locked in here as Rayer playing things slow. LeBerry gets a chip into the back wall, was bumped out. Reckless. A little bit of time, a little bit of space. Rayer diving in with no boost, wins it cleanly. Looking for something. Middle Drewski there, far side. Sox will have the clear. LeBerry all the way back, challenged well by Skinny Legend. Flurry really trying to bring the heat on the offensive side. Now Big 50 will head across. Skinny Legend already there. One touch softly towards net, dealt with by Rayer off the backboard. Reckless lobs it up. Sox is there, saved by LeBerry.
Man, he has been this solid defender. He's been the rock for this Banshees squad. Just when we didn't think he could do any better, he comes out with another amazing save time and time again. And he just had another fantastic save. And it looks like he's going to put this one in the net to put the dagger on. It looks like he's going to put the dagger in against this Flurry squad. It's just an unfortunate miss there, and I was trying to find my words of how well he's been playing, and I've been having trouble doing so. I mean, he has just pretty much put the team on his back, especially for the last minute or so of this of game number 5, and he's been that clutch factor that the Banshees needed, and that rock on defense that they needed just to fend off the Flurry offensive pressure, and really just be that all-star kind of caliber player.
Yeah, ultimately, I think you don't necessarily even need a word. I think you just need 3 letters. MVP. I mean, he has stepped up big time off the bench. Get one more. Why not? Banshees will take it in 5 after going down in the series, needing to win back-to-back. LeBerry stepped up, stood tall, and the Banshees pick up their first W of Nemesis Season 12.
Yeah, and LeBerry looking like a MVP kind of character in the Prospect League. Hopefully, this is kind of a sign. Maybe he was the sub originally and they wanted to switch some things up, and he's making his case to be in that starting lineup for the Banshees, because let me tell you, he played fantastic coming off the bench, being the type of player that we all know he can be. I mean, a great standout play from him, and I mean, he was the difference maker in that Banshee squad.
Yeah, he really was. I mean, immediately, we said in game 4, as soon as he came in, I think we were both a little bit surprised, Ventus, but when he came in, the Banshees, the whole look of the team changed, and we saw it quickly change for the better as they took those games 4 and 5 back to back. They moved to 1 and 2 on the season, and Flurry, they start off season 12 over 3, which is surprising because they're still a great team. We saw it.
Yeah, I mean, they have such great capabilities, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They had a lot of good passing plays between the two. Skinny Legend and Reckless especially, and Sox was in there for some of the receiving ends of those passing plays. And I mean, they just haven't seemed to put it all together quite yet. But we talked about hardships at the beginning of this match, and going through those hardships and making teams better. I mean, if Flurry can kind of learn from this and see what they've just the 1-2 pieces that they're missing and kind of mesh that together, I mean, this could be another dangerous squad.
Yeah, it'll definitely be fun to watch both those teams as the season progresses, but for then on, Banshees pick up their first W this season in the Prospect League. We are going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we are going to kick off the Novice League for Diffusion versus Kiwis. That'll be a very fun one. Don't go anywhere.
When I first heard your name, my prayers were answered like summer rain. But it was over after one touch together. But for a second, felt like forever. Just know that I've reread the page. Do you do the same? Hope we never fade if we're just ships passing the night. I hope we never see the morning light. It's crazy how the time just seems to fly. But for a moment, you and I couldn't. Hadn't seen your face yet, but I know those eyes. You were like a stranger, and I recognize it. Flashed, it flickered, you couldn't miss it. But God, don't miss this. Just know that I'll find you every time in another life till we get it right. Guess we're just ships passing the night. I hope we never see the morning light. It's crazy how the time just seems to fly. But for a moment, you and I, we could. And for a moment, you and I, we could. I'll find you every time in another life. I find you every time in another life. In another life. Ships passing the night. I hope we never see the morning light. It's crazy how the time just seems to fly. But for a moment, you and I, we could. Ships passing the night. I hope we never see the morning light. We're always chasing time like butterflies. And for a moment, you and I, we could. And for a moment, you and I, we couldn't. Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you break me. There's something about that makes us so, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you break me. Holding our love in chains of gold.
He puts it underneath. 0 seconds remaining. Maybe teams are gonna be fighting hard for it. Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. Place there's Hank. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Hold on. Surely this can. Oh my lord.
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, open tail on the goal line. He did nearly all sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Nemesis Gaming League. We are here week 2, season 12, and we have ourselves the Novice League opener. I'm Jonas, now joined by the one and only Rockerman. We are getting set to go Diffusion versus Kiwis. This is going to be an incredible matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we lined up an absolute banger on the stream tonight, Dronis, to end things off here. We got the Novice League, we got the defending champions in Diffusion, new rosters all over the place here between these two teams, but it's Novice League. You never really know what to expect down here. There's always some chaos, some novice moments. We'll see them out there. All is up for grabs here. And, you know, starting off, they waited a week, you know, while the rest of the teams played. You know, now they're here, ready to go. I'm sure the nerves are high, but I'm sure the excitement is also an all-time high as well.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams historically have gone back and forth, all-time series, differing 7-6 in favor of Kiwis. I mean, they have gone back and forth for a long time here in Nemesis, and I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. Obviously, Diffusion, they're a scary-looking squad in the reigning champs, Kiwis. I'm excited to see them once again. Beard for that team is a guy I've known for several years at this point. I think starting my casting journey about 4 years ago is when I met Beard. So it's great to see him here in Nemesis. And that being said, players on the field, game 1, a fresh 5 on the clock. We're going.
Yeah, fresh 5 underway, and we didn't get to talk too much about these teams, but as we go on, we'll be seeing a lot of them there. And I know, Dronis, we did a little bit of a caster's workshop and one of these scrims with Dr. Shadow there, and he absolutely popped off. So he is my player to watch out for. His Beard as an opportunity, an open net, and he's going to send it in. And, well, maybe we could talk a little bit about him.
Well, I mean, the two players you've already mentioned are the ones pitching in. Dr. Shadow, that's just a huge 50 at the midfield, and Beard doing well to turn and put that one away. And obviously, you know, since it is the Novice League opener, since it's the first week of play for these teams, they, you know, it's a fresh record. It's a clean slate. This is where you can build that championship season, and everyone's in first place.
You gotta love when you're all in first place, and you know, everyone gets a chance. You know, the hopes are very high, the expectations are high. No matter what team you are, you know, you expect that you can win it all. And I know each one of these two teams definitely expect they can win it all. And honestly, when I looked at the rosters on paper here, Jonas, after the drafts, I circled these two teams because you got the defending champions, you got Div, Silver J, Sub-Zero, 3 great players, and then 3 great players on the other side, Dr. Shadow, Beard, and 975. So if these two teams aren't competing at the very end, I'll be very, very surprised. So a lot of expectations, and we'll have to see how they perform throughout the season.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting, obviously, to kind of shake things off here in this first series that they have against one another. Obviously, both being 0-0. This is kind of their first looks as 975 will put one away. Top shelf, the 50 flying out middle, Dr. Shadow putting it up, and 975 knocking it down.
Yeah, and that's just the speed here from the Kiwis that we can see here. They are a fast team. We saw it, like I mentioned, we had a little bit of inside information we're seeing the scrim, but they are fast and they are ready to cook here. And 975, not a name I recognize here in Nemesis. I believe they're a rookie, but definitely showing up big right there, putting in a big first goal of the season.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team, they play with a lot of confidence, and that is pretty common. That is pretty common around Novice, but they earn it. And as we say, that Beard slots this one upper 90, perfectly slotted, and you cannot place it better than that.
Yeah, a little bar down ski as well right there. And you're right, there is no perfect no more perfect shot than that one right there. Bar down over the top of 2 defenders, perfectly placed, and they're able to find a third already. And we're not even 2 minutes in, finding 3 goals. Definitely impressive from the Kiwis here, really starting out, trying to assert themselves in this early season.
Yeah, they're 3 for 3 as a team right now as well. They have not missed a shot, and also every single goal we've seen so far, Rockerman, has been assisted by Dr. Shadow. He has been the playmaker. He has been setting up Beard and 975, and well, they've been doing the rest.
I mean, you got great shooters around you. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just give a little setup there. And Shadow, he's no stranger to setting people up, trying to make plays there. Able to do that big time right there. And halfway is this one, a big save from Silverjade, but here comes Beard trying to follow him, but he can't quite find the touch. But yeah, a big setup from Dr. Shadow. He is definitely a facilitator, the captain, the GM. He's definitely a leader on that team.
And we're going to be looking to see him a lot, not only in this series, but for the rest of Season 12 to come. And Beard looking to get something going on the sidewall, not able to, but ultimately, I think we're just looking for the reigning champs of the Fusion to find their first goal. Beard has a flick, Sub-Zero can't keep it out, and Beard has a hattie here in Game 1.
Yeah, this is a great play, getting it by 1 and able to catch and flick, and I mean, just enough speed where Sub-Zero can't get back to it. Nice goal and a hat trick from Beard. He's really popping off. Been in the Novice League for a couple seasons, and you know, so far this is the best I've seen him look there. And a great play there, a great shot, 4-0 lead here. Is this one going to be saved away by Beard himself? Another great play as Diffusion are somehow trying to mount an attack here, but only a minute 45 remaining.
Yeah, right now for Diffusion, Sub-Zero is the only player to put shots on target in the first 3.5 minutes of this series. No one else from Diffusion has been able to get a shot off at all, and that obviously needs to change, especially with the high-powered offense we're seeing from the Kiwis as Dr. Shadow taking it downfield, looking for one more dip. Will intercept, might have a look, loses control for a moment, wins the 50 towards the corner. 975 ready to deal.
Yeah, this one, I mean, a lot of time left here. Well, maybe not too much time left here for Diffusion, but, you know, for them, I just want to see them get something here in this one. I mean, like you mentioned, 975, the Kiwis, they've looked so good. It's been led by Beard, but I really need to see Diffusion try to find something in the back of the net here just to get some momentum as Sub-Zero is putting around his own teammate there. Not what you want to see is here comes 975, putting that one in, the 5th goal. I mean, it's really just all Kiwis right now.
I mean, they're just so efficient. One mistake from Sub-Zero, getting that one downfield immediately. Beard to the corner, 975, top shelf, 70 miles an hour from point-blank range. There's nothing you're going to be able to do with that as a defender. And 50 seconds left. The Kiwis, they're making a statement here in Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, they're not messing around. There's another one almost fired in the back of the net there. But, yeah, these guys, they seem to be no joke here. And, you know, like I mentioned, taking on the defending champions, you know, they're really, you know, putting one uppercut to the jaw, if you will, here of this Diffusion squad. And how, like I mentioned, Diffusion, they just gotta find one to get in the back of the net here. You're giving up a lot of pressure. You know, they're not playing bad. I don't think necessarily. I think the Kiwis are just playing really good here right now. But you got to lock in on the defensive end, find some good touches, find some good rotations, and just find one in the back of the net here. And I think things will start to snowball a little bit more from there.
And I think it's just crazy to see the transfer again. You know, we've talked about seeing the Kiwis scrim in that caster's workshop, and in that scrim they looked good. They looked really good. They looked dangerous. They looked dominant, and we saw them working together as a team. We saw a lot of passing plays. We saw a lot of high scoring in those games. I didn't expect it to transfer this well into the actual Novice League because, I mean, this is a standout performance again. Beard 3 for 3, assisting 1 to 975 as well. 975 having a couple of goals. Dr. Shadow, of course, being that facilitator. This team is ready and rearing to go, and if they're able to keep up this pace, they are going to be a force all season long.
Yeah, no, they really are. And yeah, like you mentioned, it was Dr. Shadow that was putting all those goals when we were watching them, and Beard and 975 were putting goals in this one. So, I mean, it's a very good sign if you're the Kiwis here. And if you're Diffusion, you know, it is game 1. I mean, they went 5 for 7 shooting on you. You got to lock down on the defensive end and find some opportunities. Only Sub-Zero with a couple of shots on net. Other than that, they were pretty much shut down. So heading into game number 2 here, Diffusion, you got to slow it down. You got to find your touches here. Play smart and find some good touches and see if you can get one in the back of the net. Because once you do get one in the back of the net, like I said, I think things can start to snowball a little bit more once they finally find that first one. But the pressure opening day for them, the nerves, definitely a little bit high.
Yeah, I mean, there is that pressure. It's the Novice League opener. You're on stream. You're the reigning champs. You have that clean slate record, and obviously it's still just the first week. It's still just the first match, but sometimes it can kind of feel like everything is on the line in the moment, and it might very well for Diffusion. But it's all about taking that breath, really resetting. Going into this next game, you got to shake off that tough game 1 loss. Have that short memory. You got to forget it, learn what you can from it, and move forward in this next one. Because Kiwis, they're not going to slow down.
Yeah, no, they will not slow down. And there's one thing we've seen from them is they're going to keep you off. It's up as Silver J. Oh my goodness, he's trying to hit one off the back there. Almost sent it in. But yeah, this Kiwi squad, they are no strangers to just slamming the offense and pushing it right towards your net there. We can definitely expect them to do more of the same. And Diffusion, I think they can find some opportunities to beat Kiwis on the overcommits here. You just got to find good touches and not find misses right there, as that one's going to ring off the post. Almost a great opportunity. Diffusion counting their lucky stars. That one didn't find the back.
Yeah, 975 just kind of rushed that shot a little bit throughout and couldn't quite put it away. Now Div, nice late touch through the corner. Beard will immediately sweep it away from Sub-Zero. Find the clear downfield, already jumping up through the corner. Div, high pop. Look at the pre-flip touch out to Silver J. Redirect through the midfield, trying to break back into the offensive side as Beard and Dr. Shadow, they both win for it. Silver J, low boost, is able to just narrowly put it off the crossbar. Beard going the wrong way. It will be just off target. Div trying to take advantage, finds a 50, but the Kiwis hold.
Oh my goodness, that one is so close on both sides. A couple of great saves, a couple of post hits going through there. And my goodness, I mean, Diffusion, they're lucky that they got away with that one. And on the other hand, Kiwi's lucky that Beard didn't put that one in the back of his own net. It did look dangerous, but they survived for now. And I mean, this is kind of what we're expecting in the Novice League. We'll see a lot of chaos for sure this season in the Novice League. And that one, almost a big goal. And still, Diffusion, I mean, comparatively, Dronis, I feel like they're doing a lot better than last game. I mean, I think they were down maybe 3 goals at this point last game. So heading to halfway, still 0-0. I think a lot better on the defensive end.
Yeah, 100%. They are looking much more stacked together, but only for a moment, as Beard will set up Dr. Shadow, and he finds his first goal of the season.
Yeah, and it was only a matter of time there. Beard with a great little pass over Dr. Shadow. Great speed, good composure to get up to that one and send it in the back of the net. And the Kiwis, once again, they strike first. We maybe a little bit of caster's curse there, as we were hyping up the Diffusion defense for a second, but the Kiwis, again, their offense cannot be denied there, and now Diffusion gotta lock it back in and try to see if you can get any sort of offense, because it really just has not been there so far in this series. It's been a lot of Kiwis here as a redirect attempt is trying to come through, but denied away.
Yeah, we're just looking for that first goal from Diffusion, and you gotta think that's gonna help to some degree. Not only, of course, starting to try and chip away at the lead that Kiwis have. One here would ultimately just quickly tie it up, but at least for the momentum, at least for the mental side of things, Diffusion, they need that first one soon.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, it's been almost 9 minutes of scoreless Rocket League here to start off the season, so they're desperate to try to find one in the back of the net, and that one almost is gonna go. But yeah, you really need it. You don't want to get shut out any longer here. Just trying to find something in the back of the net. That one almost drops in. About a minute 30 remaining here. The pressure is still solely in Diffusion's end.
Maybe a look here for Div. He wants the double. It's on target. Dr. Shadow. Big save. Silver J flying in at 975. Collects another save. Diffusion. Some great looks, but still not able to find their first of the season. Sub-Zero to Silver J. He fakes it for Div. Gets the chip, but Beard makes the stop. Now Kiwis will not let them through.
Holy cow, what a defensive denial, and it turns into offense. Oh my goodness. The Kiwis, the brick wall defense, and then Diffusion, they get a little bit too aggressive. 2 players in the exact same spot, doing the same movement right there. And oh my goodness, that one is heartbreaking if you're Diffusion there, Dronis, because it looked like it just one of those was going to go in. A couple post ringers there that just would not find their way through, and instead a counterattack goes the other way. And now you're looking at a 2-goal deficit here, and you're still looking for your first goal.
I mean, on a more positive note, they're getting closer, Ruckerman. That's all I have to say, and they're gonna find it. Silver J will connect. Diffusion on the board for the first time here in Season 12. Dr. Shadow awkward there. Silver J takes full advantage, and Diffusion, now they cut the lead in half.
Yeah, now they're on the board here. Silver J, just what you expect from that guy to finally put one in. And yeah, Diffusion, they're on the board 30 seconds. And as we all know, 1-goal lead is not safe in Rocket League. Even when the clock hits 0, as long as that ball's still up in the air, you got a chance. So Diffusion, the final 20 seconds here, let's see if they can mount something to try to steal away this game too.
Yeah, they're going to need to get that offense going, as Beard will take Silver J away, as Dr. Shadow will clean Sub-Zero off the pitch. 975 off the side. Well, maybe something here for Div. Sends it laterally across. Sub-Zero there, working his way through the corner. Gets the double. Silver J trying to help out. Middle. Beard shuts it down, finds the clear. Div trying to keep it alive. It will fall in the corner. A much closer game number 2, but Kiwis stay out in front.
That one was a lot closer there from the Kiwis and Diffusion in that one. And Diffusion finally on the board there. That's what we wanted to see. It was a little bit later than we might have hoped for their sake, but they are able to find the back of the net there. And I mean, they had great offense for 8 shots compared to 4 for the Kiwis, so they actually outshot them in that game. It was just some insane saves led by Dr. Shadow with the Savior medal in that one. So the Kiwis defense was as good as their offense was in the first 2 games here. So a great showing from them so far, as they're up 2-0. But Diffusion, they finally found one on the board here, and I just feel like Dronis, they're going to come out here with the first one, and I think they're going to be a little bit of a different team than what we saw in the first 2 games.
I mean, it would be huge to see them get that early lead right from the beginning. It would be their first lead, of course, in this series, and hunting it down early would be huge for that momentum. Try and force Kiwis into more of an uncomfortable spot, because they've looked really comfortable. And this is a great look early, but the shot from Div off target. Beard will be bumped. Shadow will try and work his way out of the defensive half of Diffusion. Guns blazing here to open up game number 3, but come up short now. Maybe look for Sub-Zero. 1 touch. Beard finds a block into the ceiling. Goes Silver. J dives in, but blocked by Shadow.
Yeah, and Diffusion again starting the offense. That's what I kind of expected from them after finding a goal in that last one. I think gaining that confidence a little bit, knowing, hey, these guys are fast, but we can be fast too, and we can put some opportunities on the net. And they were able to do that as Sub-Zero finding a demo, and Silver J with a big 50 trying to send it in, but Diffusion some great opportunities and a nice pass out. Div to Silver J, and there is the first lead of the series for Diffusion.
Yeah, ultimately Beer not able to get that one securely, and what a touch from Div back to Silver J. Slots it bottom right. Diffusion on the board early here in game number 3. That's what they needed. Now we'll see what the dynamic is now. Kiwis, trailing for the first time. They got to bring it back. In Diffusion, they got themselves that lead. They no longer have to play from behind, but they can't get content. 975, left side equalizes.
Yeah, and I think I was doing a little bit of a mental caster curse there, Dronis, because I was just thinking when you threw it back to me that I was going to say, I feel like Kiwis are going to score really quickly to tie it back up with the way the series is going. And before I could even finish the thought in my head, the ball goes in the back of the net. So a tough one there for Diffusion. But the Kiwis, again, their offense is strong. A nice little play, a nice finish from them to get it past all the defense on that one. And now Diffusion, once again, got to try to find something there, but 975 is back just in time. But again, Diffusion, they have looked better in these last 2 games, which is definitely a positive showing.
Yeah, they really have, and we're starting to see the pace really pick up as well. You know, in game 1, it was all Kiwis all the time. Diffusion, they were having to sit back. They were getting beat through the midfield, and they weren't able to do much with it. Now we're starting to see them answer, but Kiwis will pick up the lead, and they do it in a brutal way. It was a 3v1, and Beard wanted to make it a 3v0.
Yeah, that's a massive demo right there. And you saw Diffusion, that's a couple times now that we've seen him just blatantly double commit for, you know, just, I don't know if the comms just aren't there or what, but that double commit was more egregious because neither of the players made contact with the ball there, and it led the last defender in a very bad spot. You mentioned 3-on-1 into a 3-on-0 there. And, you know, we've seen the lead blocker play many a times here. It happened there. And Diffusion, they got to shut down those double commits. You can't be double committing against this Kiwis team that's so aggressive offensively. You know, you got to be solid. You got to, you know, beat them on the counterattack, and you got to beat them with a shot like that. Sub-Zero, all the pass from Silver J, able to tie it back up.
Yeah, we've hardly seen any mistakes on the defensive side like this, but Dr. Shadow, just a pure feels bad backflip in front of the net. Sub-Zero doing a great job to be on that one, and Diffusion will tie it right back up again, really getting that offense going and needs to stay consistent.
That's the main thing. You got to be consistent here, and it's the hardest thing to do in the Novice League, Dronis. These are the differences between, you know, Novice, Prospect, moving up to Challenger. Is, you know, these players, they play fast, they mostly know what to do, but the consistency is just nowhere to be found, really. And if you can have a team that's consistent in the Novice League, you're gonna win a lot of games, because there's always gonna be some mistakes. And if you're consistent and, you know, ready and you're cutting down on your mistakes, you're gonna have some great opportunities to win a lot of games here in the Novice League. As Sub-Zero makes a great save on the goal line.
Yeah, 975 wanted to be true striker there, just getting that one saved away. This one pinching middle from Dr. Shadow, and Beer and Div are locked in a rule 1, and they're broken out of it by Sub-Zero. 975 locking down a double no, just misses, falls from Shadow, blocked by Silver J. 145 left to go. Diffusion hold now, might have a look, a double whiff out in front, but a demo from Dr. Shadow will buy a little bit more space.
Yeah, there's been some chaos. I'm loving the demo plays. We got a lot of great demoers in the lobby there with Beard, Shadow. I mean, that Kiwis team, I know it's a lot of demos. There is a double commit. He's going to be forced out. And these demos can really open up space here in the Novice League. And with 1:20 remaining right now, again, the pressure is on this Diffusion squad. There is Div with a big win. Is it going to go all the way? It's floating, and it's just going to find its way in. Div with the long goal. Diffusion back out in front. 1:11 to play.
Yeah, Beard dove in his third, had full confidence in that 50, and Div went straight through him. It just trickles all the way in, and Diffusion back out in front. The lead's being traded here in game number 3. Kiwis, they got 70 seconds to try and take it back.
And the time is now their enemy here in the Kiwis, but a big demo and looking for some more bumps as they're trying to put it in. But I mean, the Kiwis, they've had their great offense here so far, so I expect them to get at least 1, maybe 2 more tries. Diffusion will really want 1 more as a big save comes through, like give themselves a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah, you want to try and find that next one, and they will. Sub-Zero threading the needle for Diffusion, puts it perfectly bottom left. No one could find an early touch, and Sub-Zero all the way there.
Yeah, and that's just a great play, able to slot it in, and just what the doctor ordered here for Diffusion. A blanket there, security blanket as they find that one in the back of the net. And now up by 2 with 30 seconds left. You can be a lot more passive on the offensive end, but they don't want to be passive. Sub-Zero, he wants a hat.
Yeah, and he is going to get the hat trick here, and what a turnaround from Diffusion. The pressure and the confidence now stepping up big time for the reigning champs, and the Kiwis, they seem a little bit shell-shocked here, Rockerman.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting this offensive explosion from Diffusion, but like I kind of mentioned in Game 1 and Game 2, it wasn't that Diffusion was playing bad, it was just the Kiwis were just so quick, so fast, and now the Diffusion has won a couple of these balls in the midfield, has won a couple of the pressures into the zone. I mean, that's the score change right there. That was the big difference. In this game. And the last one is Dr. Shadow, big body 50, but a big save by Div to try to close out this game as Diffusion on the defense, denying anything from the Kiwis. And well, they're gonna send us to a good old Novice League Forbidden Temple as Diffusion comes through with that Game 3 victory.
Yeah, game number 4 on the horizon, and what a way to get there if you're Diffusion. Again, this just being a complete turnaround. Again, the aggregate scoring going through the first 2 games was 7-1 favoring the Kiwis, and now we see a 5-2 game in favor of Diffusion. That is one way to not only keep the series alive, but propel yourselves with a lot of momentum and a chance to turn this whole thing around. The reverse sweep is a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a possibility, Jonas. And if Diffusion can play any way like they did in that last game there, I think we might be heading to Game 5. But it's going to be very tough because we saw in the Game 1 and Game 2, again, it's that Kiwis offense. It's so aggressive, so suffocating. Diffusion had a hard time breaking out. They were able to do that in that Game 3, but I expect Kiwis to really lock things down here heading into Game 4 and just try to just close the door and end it on Forbidden Temple here.
Yeah, they still had a lot of great looks. They're going to need a save early. 9-7-5 up to the Taz's Div. Wanted to pick one up in the first 10 seconds. But yeah, you got to feel that they're going to be able to figure it back out again. We were looking at a 2-1 scoreline earlier in Game 3, and then Diffusion put away 4 in a row to take that game. I don't think the Kiwis are going to let that happen again.
No, I really don't think it's going to be a blow. If Diffusion can find a win in this one, it's going to be very close as that one Sub-Zero. Another great save. Diffusion, their defense is looking good, but yeah, the Kiwis are going to be so aggressive as another shot is coming in through. They're just ringing them towards the net. Sub-Zero, another save, and there is that aggression from the Kiwis. And now Diffusion got to try to turn it around into offense. Use that aggression against the Kiwis, catch them on the overcommits, and put some goals in the back of the net.
And now Div trying to work his way through. Dr. Shadow, the clear. Silver J needs to be careful. That he is. Gets up in time to shut down the shot. Now might have himself a big clear. He does. Far side 9-7-5. We'll try and turn it right back around. Sub-Zero sidewall. Who's up? It's Beard. Shot on target. Silver J coming out of nowhere to send that one high and away. And now he'll have the clear.
I mean, where did he come from? Where did he come from, Jonas? I'm looking at the other 2 defenders jumping, and all of a sudden he comes flying from out of the screen, and he just makes the save. And thankfully he did, because that one probably would have went towards the net there. As again, the demos reign, but Diffusion, their defense, it's rock solid right now. But again, you got to turn it into offense here. You just got to find one. Put the pressure onto the Kiwis here by putting one at the back of the net. As Dr. Shadow is demo hunting once again, and that one saved away.
Yeah, this is turned into a bloodbath here, Ruckerman. We are seeing physicality and demos and bumps where they're not even needed. That shot wasn't even on target. Dr. Shadow just dove into net looking for the demo as the scoreline will stay 0-0 through the first 2 minutes of play. Div downfield shut down by 9-7-5, who already has 3 saves in this game.
Yeah, he's put up 3 big saves, as this one might be a bad touch there, but Dr. Shadow is going to get back to it. Silver J off the back foot. Sub-Zero we're trying to get to, but it's cleared away. And it might be a little bit of a counterattack here, and there it is. Beard is going to send it in, and finally the Diffusion defense is going to break.
Yeah, just a bit of an overextension, trying to find that early challenge, and Beard goes from just narrowly own goaling to all the way back downfield. Will put the first one away for the Kiwis here in game number 4. Half this game to go. Still plenty of time for either of these teams to take control.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. And what else do we expect from the Novice League on Forbidden Temple? The craziness here, a near own goal to a team up to a shot attempt, but it's not going to go. I mean, again, the Novice League and Forbidden Temple, it is a deadly, one of the most deadly combos in all of Nemesis right there. You get these 2 combos and you're going to be in for some craziness. And Diffusion, once again, they find themselves on the back foot, but I feel like they have been the aggressors in this game on offense. and they just got to keep with it here, keep putting the shots on net. And I think eventually they can then break through this Kiwis defense.
Yeah, they've had a lot of solid looks. They just got to find that one. This one might drop in. No, narrowly kept out. Sub-Zero could not break through. Beard and Dr. Shadow. This one lobbed up. Shadow wins it towards the backboard. Beard has got to be lurking that. He is. Lobs it up. 975 is there. Wants to put it away. No, he misses. Beard lobs it high. Dr. Shadow now up the clear made by Div. 975 immediately turning at the midfield. Lobs it up again. Shadow misses. Beard backboard. No, double. Another 50 coming through. Kiwis trying to do everything they can to press forward and get a second now. Have to defend. Dr. Shadow there for the save.
Yeah, the offense was a big threat there, but again, Diffusion, their defense has been very good, but it's defense on both sides that's winning this game right now. And the Kiwis, they just have the better defense at the moment as they're continuing to put on the offense. But with a minute remaining here, again, Diffusion gotta get things going a little bit. But a big mistake, Silver J gonna save it on the goal line, and that one not gonna go either. And my goodness, I don't know how these balls keep getting saved out of here, Dronis. But with the time ticking down, Diffusion, they gotta try to go all out here.
Yeah, there's a total of 14 shots in this game right now, Rockerman, and we have a 1-0 scoreline, which is absolutely insane as this shot will go wide. Div pops it on target. Shadow narrowly finding a touch out. Beard is there. The counterattack ensuing. There's no one left. Kiwis take a 2-0 lead and only 30 seconds separating them from picking up a season-opening dub.
Yeah, and again, it's Diffusion. They're trying so hard to put that aggressive offense, and under a minute, I understand it. You're trying to go all in, trying to make these plays, but they just didn't quite find the touch that they were looking for, and that allowed the Kiwis to counterattack. As Silver J, whoa, wait a minute, he's trying to drop that one down, looking for a teammate, but not gonna go, and 20 seconds remaining. It's Hail Mary time.
Yeah, they got to give it everything they've got, but Beard will shut it down. The nail in the coffin as he picks up his second hat trick of the series. 975 left to middle, and Beard took care of it.
Yeah, you leave it up to Beard, and a great place shot there from him, able to get it right around the defense, and that's going to secure a win for them in this series here. But Diffusion, I mean, they really just gave it their all. I mean, this was a crazy back and forth series in the Novice League. I'm excited for when we're going to get to see these two teams again, because if this is anything for how the Novice League is going to look this season, it is going to be very exciting, because these guys went back and forth, all series long, just shots, saves, anything you might ask for in a series right there. These two teams provided, and the Kiwis going to be walking away the victors in this.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great adaptation from Diffusion after Game 2. Game 3, it looked like they might just go down in a sweep, and they had themselves an incredible comeback game in that third. Unfortunately, could not get it done as the Kiwis went right back into that rhythm that they were able to find. And again, a great showing from this team, and they are going to be dangerous. They're going to be looking to make that playoff run. They're looking to make a championship run.
Yeah, no, I mean, they are probably the early favorites if I had to guess, especially after picking up this win. You never really know what to expect, coming into the first match of the season here. But I mean, the Kiwis, they looked like a really good team, and they went out and proved it against another team that looked like they were going to be really good. So Kiwis are all eyes are going to be on them this season. See what they can do. Do we keep an eye on the rest of the Novice League? But they have definitely got our attention right now.
Yeah, they definitely do. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on them. Diffusion again, they still had themselves some good looks. They started off slow again, getting shut out 5-0 in that game 1, but then they brought it back in game 2, made it a 1-goal game. Game 3 they took, and then game 4 Kiwis were able to lock it back down. But still, Diffusion, one of the top teams in the Novice League, they're still gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, they really are. You can't count them out. It is the first match, like we mentioned. A long season to go, so a lot of room for improvement. And I think Diffusion. I think they're going to be just fine. I think they're going to be definitely a team competing when we get to the postseason. We'll see how the rest of the season goes and what they can do.
Yeah, I would very, very much expect to see both these teams back. That being said, That is all we have for you all tonight. We are going to be back on Wednesday, the 21st, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern, a Titan match to kick it off, an Inferno versus Nebula. That is going to be a lot of fun, but it's been Jonas and Rockerman signing off. We'll see you Wednesday.
Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice tracing